Towards the end of the summer, the wheat becomes golden yellow in colour and the seed heads start to droop. At this point, the crop is ready to harvest. A combine harvester is used to cut the crop. The combine cuts the crop and separates the grains, the bit we eat, from the stalks. They do this by using rotating blades, wheels, sieves and elevators. You can see the cutting blade moving through the crop. Out the back of the combine come the chopped up stems, which will then be ploughed back into the soil after harvesting. The combine is a heavy piece of machinery, and this combine has caterpillar tracks which help spread the load and stop the soil underneath becoming compacted and squashed. The combine moves up and down the field and leaves behind a field of stubble. The stubble is the bottom piece of the plant stem, which is still attached to the plant root in the ground. The grain collects in a tank inside the combine. When the tank is full, it is emptied into a trailer. The trailer is pulled by a tractor which drives alongside the combine. Once the trailer is full, the grain chute arm folds back to the side of the combine. The grain is taken away by the tractor to the shed, whilst the combine continues to cut up and down the field. The combine will need to empty its tank many times in a field of this size before he finishes harvesting his crop.
We're in the control room for the grain dryer. This is a very important part of harvest as well, because the grain dryer dries all the grain down to a standard moisture content, so the commodity does not deteriorate. After the grain is tipped into the wet pit outside, all grain is then moved by a conveyor onto an elevator, which takes the grain up to the very top of the grain dryer. It then delivers it into the dryer. The dryer works by a chain which runs from here right all the way around. The grain drops, chain catches again. The grain is about 1 foot deep and it takes about an hour and a half to get to here, which time it could dry 25 tonnes. So it's continually circulating grain. The hot fans, this is the temperature for the hot fans, and this is the grain temperature, which is measured about here. And the cold fans at the bottom, they then cool the grain back down. We take a sample of our grain, we put it in the moisture meter, we then grind it. This is to allow the meter to work correctly, and if the grain isn't dry enough, we have to slow down the dryer to make sure it comes out dry enough. We would then press the sample. It's saying 18.6. So the grain still isn't dry. This grain still isn't dry enough to go into the shed. After the grain has completed its cycle, from the very top to the very bottom, during which time the dryer is continually being replenished, the grain then comes out onto an elevator. This elevates right to the very top again, and it then drops onto a conveyor and it disappears into the shed for storage for winter time or awaiting delivery.